It is nothing. Wait. Now I'm a little bit. Now I'm. Okay. So. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and today I have another review for you. Today we'll be looking at Finding Atlantis by HYBR. I've already reviewed their prior games, Vacation Unleashed, as well as Houston, We Have a Dolphin on my channel. A huge thanks to them for entrusting me with a copy. I greatly appreciate it. Today's review will be a little bit different again. I will show you a solo playthrough of the game, mentioning the differences to the multiplayer gameplay, and then I will give you my review. Feel free to use the timestamps to jump to the part you're interested in the most, as usual bonus points if you watch the entire video. So Finding Atlantis is an app-based deduction and hand management game with a pretty cool theme. But is it any good? Well, let's find out. Before we get started, let's look at the setup together, because the app handles that really well. So we'll not explain the gameplay beforehand. Actually, I will let the app do the talking, because that will show you how the app is programmed. Since this is an app-based game, and I think that's very important, well, it's pretty much the most integral and vital part of this experience. Alright, let's crack open the box here. So, there is a rule book. You actually don't really need that. It would make sense. This is the German version here. The cards, some of the cards do have German text, but there are also symbols that explain the actions. Also, I will explain them, so that's not an issue. The app is in English and German at the moment. I am not 100% sure if the game itself exists in English as well. But as I said, the app guides you through everything. There is English language on there. You could even theoretically get the German version and then just put the app into English, right? And I guess, I don't know if there's like a digital rule book in English maybe online. I don't know about that, but maybe there is actually one. So the rules are cool, but we don't have to look at those because we will use the app only. So actually, you know what? I will just get everything out here, and then I will actually let the app tell me what we need, right? Let's do it like this. So let's do that. Let's just open the app. There we go. I will just put it here on the left like this for now, and then the app can tell us exactly what we need. So what we do is we do have settings here. In there we can change the language, also music and sound effects. We can like make it a little bit louder and less loud. So I can actually like do a little bit of sound here. Hope you can hear it. There actually is some music here, right? Which is a pretty cool thing. I would just leave that on medium, but I will probably turn it off later on because I usually don't like background music in my playthroughs. Some content creators like that, I don't, but I will just leave it on for now because it's part of the experience. Okay, then play. So and now the app already tells us what to do. So it tells us choose your player colors. Place the privacy shield in front of you and hide your navigation paper behind it. Get some pens ready. Okay, so we have usually we have these privacy shields here that we use to put them like in front of our sheet here, right? We don't need to do that today because we are playing a solo game. But in a multiplayer game, every player will get one of these. These are like in 4 different colors here, like the player colors, right? So that rubber band is just for the cards. That was not part of the game, of course. Alright, so we will choose the player color, which is red, of course, because we don't have any black here, but we don't need the privacy shield, so we just put the sheet of paper here and get a pen ready. Alright, there we go. Next turn, each player gets their corresponding submarine piece and 1 token of every player color. Kind of, right? I will show you why in just a minute, because the app doesn't know yet that we are playing by ourselves. So I will get a submarine piece, and then usually I will get like 1 of each player color. Oops. 1 of each player color here. Like this, because with this I can track where I think the other players are. Right? That is the difference to a multiplayer game. I will just put them here for now, but I don't really need them. I don't need them in a solo game because, well, I'm by myself. Okay, so we have all of that. Then shuffle the artifact cards. The artifact cards are those with this back here. Give me a second to find them. Right there. I put them right here. I put them here so I can find them immediately, and you see how well that worked. So we take all the artifact cards and we put them in the middle of the table. So let me just do it like this here. We can shuffle those. like this, and then we can just put them up here, I would say, for now, like this. Okay, then I will put them on the left in just a minute. Actually, we don't need this anymore. You know what, let's get a little bit of room here. Let's leave the app here because that one is important. We need that at all times pretty much, and we put the artifact cards right over here. Every player gets the card deck of their respective color. So since we said we are red, right, then we will just get this deck of cards here. We don't need all of the others because, well, the other players don't exist in our game. And also like the periscope card and the drop mine card. These two cards, they're in German here, but these are the two cards we don't need at the moment because there is like a pirate mode here, a mode that works a little bit differently, and only there would you need these cards, right? So we will also remove those from the game. So we have our deck of cards here. Then we will take one captain card. So you see like there are like different captain cards here that have a different back. These are like, this is like where the asymmetry comes into play, right? Where we are like different from other players. So I like to play with Captain Nemo quite a lot. Captain Nemo allows us to openly move one space. So we have to show to the other players where we go. In a solo game, that doesn't matter. And then we can take a card back into our hand. I find this quite helpful, so I will take Captain Nemo for this game. So then we have our hand of cards here. I will just put them here for now. And then we choose a color. And so we see here, choose a color. Then we say where we are sitting at the table, right? So we will be sitting right here, I would say. So, and then we scan our captain card. So, and you see like these all have different like pegs here, are all different on all cards. And that's how the app realizes what card that is. So we just scan this card. So there we go. Now the app knows we are red and we have the Captain Nemo card. And the app also knows we have all of these cards, right? The app currently knows we have all of these in our hand. And whenever we play one, the app knows, okay, we don't have them in our hand anymore. And now you would also log in the other players in a multiplayer game. We don't have a multiplayer game. We are solo, so we say everyone aboard. And then here we can also like have like specific options that we can turn on, like not so mean monsters. I think then we play without monsters or no pirates on the horizon. Also we can play with a small or a larger game. The small game is just the 6x6 grid, which I will be showing you today. But we can also play with the 8x8 grid, including the blue border, which we will not do today. So small game, no extra options, start game. A strong gust of wind makes you look up. The steel fuselage under your feet vibrates slightly. The sea is still calm, but you can smell the upcoming storm. You remember the old stories of your grandpa, of distant lands, exotic smells, and the seven seas. Even when the whole world seemed explored, he still kept dreaming of a mystic place, the most legendary of them all. It harbors treasures of unthinkable wealth and long-forgotten secrets, protected by dangerous, monstrous wardens. Your eyes light up in the memory of these words. Back in the day you swore you would one day find this legendary place, Atlantis. And today you have something your grandpa could only have dreamt of, a boat capable of diving. A glimpse towards the east reveals the submarine of your friend of old times, Captain Glue, at the horizon. Submerged, fellow bubbleheads, the race has begun. And I will have to turn down the music, it's really annoying me, sorry. Not because the music is bad, right? Don't get that, don't understand that in the wrong way. But just because, yeah, I just don't like music. I like music, but not in my videos. Okay, like this, I think we're fine. So, traces of civilization. That is important because the sea map here, the 6x6 map, contains 4 neighboring Atlantis fields. Neighboring means they all need to be adjacent or diagonally to each other, right? So if an Atlantis place is here, the next one has to be somewhere around here, right? And they like form like a pattern kind of thing. These 4, and there are also 4 randomly distributed artifacts. If we find one of those, we can take an artifact card that would help us during the game. Okay, and find Atlantis, as I said, they are all like adjacent, like you see here in this little image. They're also in the game box. Let me just get it. In the game box, there also are like these cards. Let me just, oh, they're right here. There are like these cards, like 2 of them. And they actually tell you like exactly how Atlantis is distributed here, right? You don't really need the text. I mean, it's in German, but you see here like artifacts can be distributed randomly, and Atlantis, they all need to be adjacent to each other. And also there need to be mounts, right, where the artifacts or Atlantis is, but I will show that to you. The app will explain that in just a minute. Find Atlantis. Whoever finds out first where all fields of Atlantis are can win the game by using Explore on one of its locations. Explore is right here. That is the Explore card, and it says that you can see like what is below you. And if it is Atlantis, then you can actually solve like Atlantis. You can say like, oh, okay, I know where all 4 pieces are. But you can only do that when you explore, actually. Whoever finds out first, exactly. You can see an example of how Atlantis is structured on one of the Riddle helper cards. Obviously, Atlantis will be in a different place every time. You can use the same symbols for notes on your sheets of paper, or you can draw whatever you like. We ain't your boss. All Atlantis fields are always connected to each other, either diagonally, vertically, or horizontally. Explore a location of Atlantis to get a chance to solve the puzzle and win the game, just like I mentioned. Artifacts provide their finders with powerful effects. That's what I said, right? We can like get these artifact cards. Explore one to recover it and receive an artifact card. Artifacts are usually single-use cards. Atlantis as well as artifacts are also commonly called traces of civilization, or for short, traces. Important traces, which is Atlantis and artifacts, are always on top of sea mounts, like these little mountains, and also all their 4 adjacent sides are also sea mounts. All spaces not neighboring either an artifact or Atlantis are always depth, like these empty spaces, like, right? That's like the opposite of a seamount, of course. And adjacent does not mean diagonally here, right? Adjacent to artifacts and Atlantis, and on top of them are always like seamounts. All other are depth. That's very important to know. So if we, for example, know that this is depth, then we also know that these can also not be Atlantis or artifacts, right? So, so now we have our initial positions, and now let us just skip out of that. Soon you will go on the water and move secretly. From then on, try to keep your position secret for as long as possible. So now we see like all players here at the beginning, right? So we will put our submarine right here. That's where we are. And also we will put in like the cardinal directions here. So north, east, south, and west. And also we would now see the other submarines. So we would put like the submarines right where they would be located, like where they would be shown here. Right? So we would know where the other players are, and when they say, okay, I will move, and then we know they move one direction. Okay, well, I don't know where will they move, but they might move in this direction, I think, right? And then you can kind of like try to deduce where like also the opponents are, because they might actually find something, right? And then you think like, oh, I think that opponent who just found something is over there. I will try to get over there and also try to find it, right? And that what you would do in a multiplayer game. In a solo game, it doesn't matter because we're by ourselves, so I would just return those to the box. Alright, so that is pretty much it. Captain Nemo, this secret action is only for your eyes, and then you would like take the phone or put it like behind your screen, right? Then click on here, and then it says like silent running, pick a direction to move your submarine secretly by 1 field. I think I will stay like right in the middle, so I will move 1 to the west. And then I do that, and I will move my submarine to the west. Usually I would have that screen here, so nobody would see what I would do. So, and now we can check out your cards. These are like our possible actions to explore the deep sea. These just do different things. Like this one, like for example, explore. I will see what is below me. With this one, I can move twice into a secret direction. Like the players don't know where I move. This is where I can move like the like 2 opposite spaces like around my submarine, so either these 2 or these 2. I can check those if there are any traces, right? If there are any like artifacts or pieces of Atlantis, and I will then either scan it like this, then I will do it left or right, or I'll scan it like this for up and down. So it's a pretty clever system. Here I can move one space secretly. Here I can, oh wait, let's do that first. This one is very important. With this, I can like use the sonar and check like the 8 surrounding spaces for sea mounts and depth. And that will kind of also give me direction like where Atlantis could be, right? And the last one that we have is go back up again, like resurface. And that would allow me to take all my cards back into my hand. Because if I scan a card and play it, then it's played. And I can't play it anymore until I take it back to my hand. Captain Nemo allows me to take 1 card back into my hand if I use it. I can only do that once, right? because that it will also lie there. Now I would have to get that one back, but it gives me a little bit more flexibility. And if I play this one here, resurface, then I can get all my cards back into my hand. That's kind of how the cards work. The app will also explain that a little bit to you. Each turn I have 2 actions. An action just consists of me taking a card and scanning it, and then doing whatever the card tells me to do, right? So that is pretty much what the app is telling us at the moment here. So it tells us you can use it, with the front side up, you just scan it, and that's pretty much it. Also here, exactly. So the cards with the compass needle, as I said, like this one for example, I would have to adjust it in the direction I want to move, right? That is very important, because the app actually realizes in which card I'm turning in which direction. Okay, and I think that is it. So now it's our turn. Now we are trying to find Atlantis. So you see, the app really eases you into everything. You don't really need the rulebook, and that is done pretty well. I will say a few things about that at the end when I actually give you my review of the game. Okay, so I think the first thing I want to do, which is pretty simple, I would use the sonar. So I will scan that. There we go. So it always explains what sonar is doing, and now we see. Oh, I think we're already on a good. We're already doing pretty well here, because all around us are these mounts. So I will just do it like this, so I know there are mounts. Give me a second while I draw all of that. So there is you can choose how you want to draw everything, but I usually draw a large symbol in the middle, for whatever ever actually is there. Is there anything? Is there an artifact, or is there a piece of Atlantis? And all the other small things these mounts and depth and stuff, I will just put that small here. Alright, so I know what is here now. So what do we do? Well, actually, you know what? We could already use the radiograph here, because that will let us check 2 spots right around us. And I think I will just use the 2 to the left and the right. So let's scan that. Alright. And it tells us to the right and left there is nothing. Okay, so here is nothing at all. But there needs to be something below us. There has to be something below us, because adjacent are all mounts. There will be something below us. Maybe either Atlantis or an artifact. So that was my turn. So now I would go here, because I'm done. And now usually it would cycle to the next player, right? So now the blue player would be the blue player's turn, or the green ones, or the yellow ones, until it the turn order goes back to me and it's my turn again. Since I'm playing solo, I'm playing all by myself. So I'm just trying to find Atlantis as quickly as possible. There is no dedicated solo mode yet. I will talk about that in my review later. So there is nothing like a goal you have besides finding Atlantis. But what I would suggest you do if you play it solo is just mark the turns here you need to find Atlantis. And next time you play, you try to be faster. That's the only way you can play the solo mode at the moment still. Alright, it reminds us that we cannot go outside the blue edge if you play with the 6x6 grid. Okay. Okay. So, alright, so it's our turn again. Well, then I will use the card to see what is right below me, which is this one here, the Explore card, right? So let's see what it is. I'm pretty sure it's something. It is nothing. Wait. Now I'm okay. So, there's nothing here, so that means nothing can be connected here. One possibility I see is that maybe an artifact is somewhere here, and Atlantis might be around here, right? Going here can't be Atlantis either. That's not possible, not an artifact. So nothing seems to be here as well, either, I mean. No, actually, no, there's a mount. No, something might be actually there. So what I will do is I will travel into that direction here. So let me take this one here. With this one I can move two into one direction. So let me just scan that. And now it would be a secret action card. I would take the cell phone and the mobile phone, and put it right behind my screen. And then I will say in which direction I want to go. And I want to go twice here, I think. I want to go there. So I will use east. That means now I go 2 into this direction here, right? Always never forget to track where you are. Otherwise, this game is not playable, right? Because you need to know where you are. Okay, now it would be the next player's turn, which is us. I want to look below again. Which I can't do now. I kind of messed up. I should have used only one movement. But okay, then I will just resurface, right? So let's just resurface. That means we take all cards back into our hand, including the resurface one. Like this. Let me just do it like this. There we go. Okay. And when you resurface, not you get your cards back into your hand, but also, like, all players see where you are. Right? That's also, you see, like, where I am. Like, all players would now see where I am. So that is always, like, something you have to kind of be mindful of. Because that tells the other players where you are. Okay. And now I will also look below me again. See? We found a piece of Atlantis. So what we'll do now is, now I will just put like the square in here, like this. So we know that there is one of the 4 pieces of Atlantis. So now all the other pieces need to be connected to that, right? So pretty much I will now probably just go up and check these 2 out. Yeah, I think that's what I will do. And probably that's what I will do. So, and now either we could now solve the game and say, okay, I know where the 4 pieces are, and that would let me win the game, but I don't know yet, so I will just continue the game. Oh, by the way, that was now our, how many turns did we now go? I think that's now our 3rd turn, I think. If I'm not, I might not be able to track everything this round, this game, but just so you know how you could play that. So, we found Atlantis, that is nice, like 1 piece at least. Also, there's one thing that I haven't explained to you yet. What you can also do, you can also like take one of your cards and you can just turn it around and then you can just move into any direction like this, right? You can like say in which direction you want to go and just burn this card, so to speak, right? That is just if you want to move and you don't have a movement card anymore. But it will not be a hidden movement. All players will know in which direction you are. Not where you are, but which direction you took at least, right? Because they will be able to track that here with their little cubes, right? If they think you're here and then you're moving west and they know that, then they can just move you over there. So yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind. So I actually want to go to the right with Captain Nemo. So I will now turn the needle in the direction I want to go, like this. So now I'm going here and I will take 1 card back into my hand. This one here. Okay. And then I will explore again. Because there might be another piece of Atlantis. No, there's nothing there. So I will just put a big axe over here. Okay. Oh no, I'm right here. So, and then I will move up with this one here. There we go. So I will just go up here. North. Okay. So that worked. And then what do I want to do? Actually, yeah, I would like to move 2 more pieces. But you see, now I can't actually move 1 step only because I only have that one with 2 steps. So I will actually burn this card. So I'll put it like this. Tap this here. And then say I want to go into this direction. Right? Going here. Okay. And then I will use the radiograph just to see what is left and right of me. I think that is a good idea. Which is actually also a new turn. I think these were 2 more turns. I'm not quite sure. I'm kind of losing track at the moment. So you see now on the left there's nothing. But there is something here. Whatever that is. That could be a piece of Atlantis. Would make sense, right? And then what I will also do is just use sonar. Just because I still have it. So I see, yeah, there are all mounts all around me. So I am right where Atlantis will be. And there are even mounts up here still. So yeah. So I think there's something where I currently am as well. Like this. Like this and like this. Okay. Wonderful. So I will now just, that's the last card I have. I will just resurface. So all players would, all players would now know where I am, right? I can take all cards back into my hand. So let us use Explore again. And there's a piece of Atlantis right below us. And we know something to the right there's something to the right as well. So I already found 2 or 4 pieces of Atlantis, which is nice. But I will not solve it yet, of course, because I don't know yet where it is. So now I will use Captain Nemo to go to the right. So I can take 1 card back into my hand, and I will go towards east here and use the explore card again. And I found another piece of Atlantis. Okay, I'm really doing well at the moment. So in a multiplayer game, I would now have 3 or 4 pieces of Atlantis. So now either there will be another Atlantis piece on one of these 3, or down here. But I'm pretty sure it will be up here, because there is a mount here. So that means that either there something needs to be, or there. Because there is nothing, and it needs to be adjacent, right? So there or there will be a piece of Atlantis, I guess. But there it can't be, because it would not be adjacent or diagonal to another Atlantis piece, right? So I guess there is the last Atlantis piece. So I could now try to solve the game, right? That's something that I could do. But if it's not correct, because Atlantis could also be down here, and up there could be an artifact, right? Then if I'm wrong when I solve where Atlantis is, and I don't have all the 4 pieces, then I'm just being ejected somewhere on the map. So, and I don't know where I am, right? I actually don't know where I am. Then I would have to find out where I am, which is really tough. So I will not risk it. I will not solve the game because, well, I play by myself anyway at the moment, right? So that is fine. Okay, I actually want to go up there and check. So I will just use like 1 hidden movement and go north. Then I could use the radiograph. You know what? I might actually use the radiograph. No. There's nothing to the right, of course, but there's also nothing to the left. So Atlantis will probably be there then. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. So I will use my double movement here to move towards west. And then I will resurface to get all cards back into my hand. And then for the new round, I will use explore, because I think the last Atlantis piece is there. No, it's not. So there is something over there then. Oh no, then I need to go back because there's something over there. Okay, you know what I will do? I will actually then okay, so I will have to go back again. That was pretty bad. So I will go back east. And then I will play Captain Nemo again to go to the right, and also take 1 card back into my hand. I will take the explore card, of course, which I will use immediately. There's also nothing there. Man. Okay, that means the last Atlantis piece has to be down here, because they need to be adjacent or diagonal to each other, so it needs to be down here. And there is like a mount here, so I guess Atlantis is there. Yeah, this is where Atlantis is, I think. So, yeah, let's just run down there as quickly as we can, right? Because we're losing time, so to speak. I mean, I'm playing by myself, but alright, let's move twice. Let's move twice south. And then I would have to move 2 more times. Let me see. Let me take this one here to move once down. And then let me use this one here to move 1 to the left. Oh, wait. There. Like this. And I think I kind of messed up because I don't have the explore action anymore, right? Well, the app will probably tell me if I have it or not. Oh, no, I still have it. Okay. And you see, I found another piece of Atlantis. And now you can see I actually found all 4 pieces. So now I will go and solve the game. And that is something that every player will see now, where I put like the 4 pieces. If I'm wrong, then the players don't know which of these is wrong. But they can actually now deduce then, oh, okay, so he thinks these 4 are right, but they seem to not be quite right. But I have these 2, for example, so one of these needs to be correct, or whatever, right? So the players can kind of deduce that. So it is this, that, and this piece here. And it says Captain Nemo 1, congratulations, right? Because I'm Captain Nemo, right? Because that's the character I chose. Congratulations, yeah. And that is pretty much, it says a congratulations. So you see like a little play on words, which I'm always thankful for. And that's pretty much how you play the game. Just a few more things. Now I have not found an artifact, but let's just say that I would have found an artifact here, right? Then I would mark that, and then I would mark that here, and then a sea monster would actually go here, right? Come here, and then there would be like a sea monster because I found an artifact. First of all, I would take the top card, and for example, I would have the Bermuda rectangle. And that would allow me to see like a rectangle with like the outer rim of where Atlantis is. So in my case, I would see on the map like this here, right? This piece. So I would know, okay, Atlantis is just in this rectangle. A very powerful card. I can use that once and then I will throw it away. But I think only I will see. Only I will see that. See, it says secret action here. So that is pretty cool. So these, then I would take one of those that I can use at any time. And then the sea monster would not do anything while I'm on the space, right? But as soon as I move away, then whoever moves there, even me, right? So I need to note it. If you move on there, then something bad happens. These can be different things. The app actually tells you what happens then. So you don't want to encounter the sea monster. But apart from that, I think you have seen pretty much everything. So yeah, that is how the game works. I hope you got a good feeling of how the app works here. But first, let me hydrate a bit and then we will continue with the review. Alright, so how do I like the game? Here are my thoughts. As usual, let's start with the outer appearance. There aren't too many components, which is always a plus, and the components here are well made. So especially like the wooden tokens, the sheets of the pad are double-sided, which is a big plus as well. The cards have a decent quality. There's nothing special about them, but for this type of game, it's definitely enough. I mean, you don't have to shuffle them, right? So it's fine. There isn't a whole lot of art, but the graphic design I like. I do like it. It's well done and immersive. That brings me to the theme. I really like this theme. It's great using all these different cards with different actions to try to find Atlantis. And the fact that you always have to resurface in order to get ready to continue your search is a pretty cool touch. I also like the asymmetry you get here with these different captains, because it makes the game a bit more interesting and unpredictable. But not too complicated, since it's just one more card you need to keep track of. The gameplay works really well. It's very easy to understand since you just take two actions, scan the respective card, and that's it. The complexity is derived from actually understanding the smaller bits, such as where the different Atlantis pieces can be, how they are positioned in relation to the mounts and the depth and the empty spaces, and how artifacts and sea monsters work. Still, it's quite easy to grasp, which I really enjoy. Let's talk about the most important aspect of the game, the app. And I need to say that it works extraordinarily well. In essence, you don't really need the rulebook, as I said at the beginning of the game, because the app guides you through everything, at least for the first game. But you can also reset the tutorials in the options if you need a refresher. I bet that you will be able to play the game within 5 minutes if you haven't played it in a month, just because the app's tutorial is that good. The app works really well anyway, but that is just how the apps made by HYBR are made. They all work well. Still, there are a few things that need to be said. The English version still has quite a few grammar and spelling errors, even almost 1 year after release. I hope that they will fix this soon as well, but HYBR is usually quite eager to do so. Also, when I first played the game almost a year ago, it didn't always track the submarine correctly. But after more plays, just before this review, and also today, these issues seem to be gone. I haven't encountered these issues anymore. It's great that the game has a solo mode, but currently that one is just an exploration on your own. Solo can either practice the game or see how many rounds you need until you find Atlantis. I really wish HYBR would add a standalone solo mode, and this could be incredibly fun. I mean, it's an app, so you just need to program that in, right? Two small nitpicks. The box could have been a little bit smaller to save some space. But then again, it's supposed to be the same size as Houston We Have a Dolphin, I think, but that game could have used a smaller game box as well. Nitpick number 2. While I enjoy this game's theme, prior HYBR games have always had like some crazy theme, such as imposter dolphins on a space station, or cooks in the Soviet Union using inedible ingredients such as jeans or squirrels. Yes, this game is more family friendly here, but I liked the crazy themes of their prior games. Also, I'm not 100% sure about replayability. There are different captains, which is cool, but apart from that, the game does play pretty much the same every time. Just the positions of the different things to look for changes. But that's not necessarily negative if you enjoy the gameplay enough, right? All in all, Finding Atlantis is a well-designed game. It has a great theme, art style and components, and it is easy to get into. The gameplay is smooth and fun, leaving some room for deduction when you see the other players resurface. I would have liked a dedicated solo mode for the game and a bit more courage to embrace a crazy theme, just like in their prior games. Would I suggest the game to you? Well, if you're looking for a pure solo game, this isn't the right game, I'd say. For a multiplayer game, this works very well, although I'm not quite sure about its long-term replayability. But it's definitely worth to check it out and give it a try if you just remotely enjoyed what you saw here today in my video. Well, you made it to the end of my review of the game Finding Atlantis. As usual, I'd like to thank all of you for your support. That means so much to me. I especially want to thank my patrons who are generously supporting me on Patreon. The biggest thanks go out to Thecos, who is my biggest supporter at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. If you would like to support me as well, check out the link to my Patreon in this video's description. There you can see the tiers I've come up with. As usual, I'm always thankful for a like, comment, and especially a subscription. And you can also join my Discord server if you'd like to hang out with me and my community. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.